intro.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Except for Q2.
Well, 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 here we are again. Again. With some excellent Q episode. Excellent. Death Wishes, yeah, it's about Q, and there's also Q, and there's Q, and there's Q, and I think there's also Q.
Q's one of my favorite
I
characters.
think that's accurate.
Are you sure there's also Q?
I don't, is there a Q?
No, you're thinking of
Is
Q,
Q-
not Q.
What
Doesn't
I'm
Q-
thinking is, okay,
Q appear
here's the
twice?
explanation for that. There's at least 2 other Q that are just sitting there. But is there a third Q? I think there's a third Q, but I don't quite remember.
I think
Oh,
so.
okay.
I think there's Q, and then 2 background Q.
The Q episodes really don't get good until Q shows up.
Well, good news. Also, so that's the first episode of Death Wish, Season 2, Episode 18. Everyone queue up for Death Wish. Death Wish. That's what Voyager Season 1 gave me. But for now, good episodes.
I thought this was the episode where B'Elanna tries to do like fatal
No.
holographic skydiving.
That's Day of Wait, is it Day of Honor? I think it's Day of Honor.
I think that's a different one.
No.
No? Is it Barge of the Dead? And she tries to...
No.
I can't
Isn't
think
that
of
the
that
one
many
with the
B'Elanna
film?
episodes that we haven't already seen.
It's Extreme Risk.
That's the
Okay,
one.
that's
Season
right.
5.
Okay, but the other 2 episodes. The second one's Lifesigns, where the doctor falls in love with a lady.
Oh,
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he falls in
Kind
love
of
with the
sort of.
lady. The fact that she is a hologram for most of it is kind of irrelevant. And then Investigations is something.
That's where Paris leaves the ship.
And we have the Neelix cooking show. Well, it's a new show and a cooking show and a general life. It's a general interest program, really.
That's what they should do on All Access. A Neelix spin-off.
Star Trek PBS.
Yeah. And
Briefing
not
with
like,
Neelix every day on CBS.
and not like the big PBS shows, like the kind that your local station makes about like
Yeah.
cleaning out your storm drain, and it runs
Yeah.
for like 60 years, that sort of thing.
Would the Neelix cooking show be better than Star Trek Picard?
I think honestly, if you create a Neelix cooking show and he's just creating fake foods that are impossible to actually make with fictional ingredients, and you have like good character dynamics or maybe like some kind of ongoing background story, I could see that being a watchable TV show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so what I was saying before the stream started, the episode Timescape. Picard reaches a hand in a bowl. Time is moving 50 times the normal rate. His nails grow really long. That means, you do the math, his fingernails grow at like 2,000 times the rate of a normal human.
Yeah.
Like in general. Because they grow a certain amount in the equivalent of 250 seconds. It's actually 5 seconds. And if you extrapolate that to his normal rate of growth, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it means he'll be cutting his nails every like hour.
No, he has to cut his nails like every 20 seconds. It's
Is
insane.
that fast? Is that how the maths works out? That's crazy.
He would grow his
why didn't they bother
height
to do the math
and nail
on that?
length. He would grow his height and nail length in 7.5 hours.
Wow.
It's a really cool visual though, so
Then you could walk around on his nails.
But all they have
He
to do is
grows
say
his nails the
500
length of the
spider.
Enterprise in 4.5 months.
Yeah, all they had to do is pick a better number, and it'll be
They could have
fine.
said like
Yeah.
5,000 times
do
the
the
normal
math.
rate. It doesn't matter.
All they had to
Come
do was
on.
do the math.
But yeah, we already watched that episode a while ago. We're not coming back to it. So Death Wish. Death Wish. Death Wish.
it's probably my favorite episode of Voyager.
Your favorite?
Wow.
Oh, that's a bold statement.
Mm.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
the
up
good
there.
stuff. They go to the shack, and all the other Qs are there. It's just probably, it's like the most interesting episode, at least for me, for Voyager, to actually like learn something about the Q.
All right,
It's
hang
not
on.
my
Let's play in
favorite
5,
episode.
4, 3, 2, 1, play. Then what is, Michael?
Well, I was going to comment more about this episode. It's not my favorite episode, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know. I don't like learning more about the Q.
Well, they
It's
don't
not so
tell
much
you
about learning more about the Q for me as it is about the message of this episode.
Oh, Mr. Bourgeoisie, you're echoing show. So, this episode, the Q don't have a prime directive, do they? They love messing with people.
Yeah, the only reason the Q don't interfere with like every single civilization in the galaxy is because they
don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
But then they have that Civil War thing.
Yes.
That's later.
How does? How is he already wearing a Starfleet uniform? He just got here.
Maybe he was.
Maybe
he was like trapped in that asteroid while he was at a Star Trek convention.
It's called a field commission.
But my favorite episode of Voyager, just to answer that question, is Living Witness.
Just watched that yesterday with my dinner. It's a good episode.
Living Witness is the one where the doctor's backup module is opened in a museum, and he has
that's a good one.
Explain Voyager.
They explain Voyager as, when diplomacy fails, force must be applied. It's the Starfleet way.
I really like the episode where the doctor goes crazy because his program is malfunctioning or something. Or they add human
Could you be more specific?
Yeah.
Do you mean the one where he picks somebody to save and somebody to die and he can't reconcile it?
Yeah, I think it's that one. Like the one where he yells at Neelix. Like
I think that's the same one.
He throws like a tantrum.
Yeah, he goes nuts in the mess hall over picking something to eat
one.
or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
that's the one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Why does he pick something to eat when he's a hologram?
He goes nuts in the mess hall. I don't remember what the premise was, but
he was asked to choose. I think Neelix asked him which one he should serve to people.
The worst person you can ask.
So the choice things come back again. Yeah.
Literally the one person on the ship who's incapable of answering that question.
Well, it's Neelix, so yeah. Ask anyone.
Bloody hobbit.
Yeah, Voyager has some great ones.
I don't know if that's strictly a man. I mean, it looks like a man.
He says later for the Q continuum that it's just a representation that we would understand.
Do you think there's a little niche con artist market for people pretending to be Qs, like in Devil's Dues or Live Fast and Prosper?
Probably.
I think pretty hard to pull off.
Yeah, and the enforcement.
I mean, it was done in TNG on a large scale.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, remember that guy? They were on that planet, and he like made his own wife that died, and he.
Yeah.
Like this another god guy.
The Dowd.
And we don't know if he's Q or not, or what he is.
He's Dowd. He specifies that.
Yeah, they never you never see anything like it again.
That's an old guy to be in Starfleet. It's just some red shirt on Voyager.
Yeah, I always feel a little bad for people who are like in their 70s and they have ensign pips.
Yeah. It's like that guy. That guy's like, shoot, I should have fought the Nausicaans 50 years ago.
But maybe they just joined up late. They had a full life. They had a career somewhere else, and then they were like, "Yeah, I'll do Starfleet."
I tend to think that like the 50-year-old ensign is more along the lines of somebody who wanted to go to Starfleet Academy for the education and wanted to go out into space and earned their commission, but didn't have any like career ambitions.
Yeah,
they just want to be in
care
space.
about advancing rank.
That guy was just like, I joined Starfleet for the free tuition, and now I'm out in the Zeta sector.
This isn't what I
Well,
signed
maybe
up
he was a
for.
non-com and wanted to be a commissioned officer or something like that.
Yeah, I think of it more like the astrophysicist who's like, Starfleet Academy has the best astrophysics program. And
Yeah, probably.
if I'm going to be an astrophysicist, I've got to get out to the stars. So, like, I'm going to join Starfleet, but I don't care about becoming a captain.
It's like,
I just care about doing my job.
And I mean,
He's
Starfleet
like-
does need that. You need the ensigns, you know.
Like, I was
Sure.
like, dang it, I'm gonna die of natural causes before we get back to Earth.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That actually would be a good episode. It's like that
That Q, that wasn't
Q.
Q.
Carol of all the men.
Bro.
How does that even happen?
This actor's really great because he's like the only other Q we've seen is John Delancey up till this point.
Oh, there's the one that was like there was Q.
Yeah,
There's
there's
also
the other
Q.
Q.
There's the yellow-haired one that gives him his powers back.
Oh right. But I mean, he wasn't
Well, we
even
only
a
see
main
him for like 2
character.
minutes.
Yeah, he was just there as a functionary, like bureaucrat. Like
Yeah,
okay,
there's the woman Q that plays Kalar.
Imagine
that's
getting-
Vulcan
Okay,
Doctor.
she's not a Q in TNG though. She's a Klingon.
Oh yeah, not in TNG, of course.
Do you think that he got rid of all the men on Voyager or all the men in the galaxy?
In the universe.
Like,
He didn't just
Wow.
get rid of one man or 100 or 1,000.
He
got
was a
rid of
total
all
girl
men.
boss.
Bah.
he
Everywhere.
accidentally became Thanos. It's just like,
There's
whoops.
John.
But is
I was
John
thinking more about Kevin Uxbridge, but yeah.
Yes.
is John Delancey wearing purple lipstick in this episode, or is
I
this
think he
Yeah.
always wears
He
lipstick.
is.
thing?
The purple,
Mhm.
the bluish lipstick is a thing that Voyager started with the Q. It was kind of a thing with the Judge Q, but also it
Yeah,
just
now all
became
the
part of their character in Voyager.
Okay, I'll wear purple
like
lipstick
how-
if I get to be omnipotent.
Despite the fact that the Q, you mustn't think of them as omnipotent, as much as they might want you to. No, despite being omnipotent, I like that nobody in Starfleet really takes them seriously. They just
Yeah.
look at
That's
them
More
as
like
trolls.
I can't do anything about it, so that's their mindset.
Especially not in Discovery.
Discovery
I
is
thi-
just non-canon.
I feel like
It definitely
in-
canon. Also, there's no Q in it.
Yeah, well, they mentioned the Q, and they're just like, meh.
I feel like Q intentionally he selects ships that like have
Oh,
the most
interesting.
amusing crew to mess around with.
Yeah, it's really great that Deep Space Nine skipped out on the Q stuff.
I think
No, we had Vosh episodes.
Yeah, that's even worse, honestly.
What's Asylum supposed to do? The Federation can't protect you from the Q.
Oh, Q makes a pretty good point here. It's like, what in the world are they gonna do?
So, in the Q Continuum series, which is written by the Reeves Friedman couple, so they established that well, it's not canon, unlike Discovery. So, it said that the Q can't mess with time, like they can't change the timeline. But never mind, all good things kind of contradicts that.
Yeah, Formation of the Cosmos is kind of a bad place to hide because it was like infinite temperature.
It would also already have happened by now.
Do you think the universe could? Do you think the Q could put the universe in a tube?
Yeah,
But
The
the
why would you
universe is
hide at the
already in a
beginning
tube.
of the universe?
we'd
So
end
maybe
up
that's just how they view the universe.
If you hide at the beginning of the universe and you change the formation of the universe, then they'll know where you were, and then they'll be like, "Okay, well, that's where they are," and then you'll be caught.
Wait, you're being attacked by... If those are protons, just protons. Why are they being circled by electrons?
Those
That's
are
hydrogen.
chronoton particles, Ryan. Obviously.
So this is what all good things look like when you don't have a budget.
Is it Christmas again?
Undrop.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Picard's there with his ghost
It is
kids.
It would be
fake
great if it
family.
was Captain Picard of the Nexus. That would be fantastic.
You
I
don't
think
have
the
to involve
hallmark-
Voyager. Just leave.
I think the hallmark ornament for this year was actually Voyager too.
Oh,
Oh, that's really cool.
Janeway's like, would you mind just putting us in Earth orbit during this skirmish?
Yeah.
Doesn't she ask that? Or like Q promises her
Q
something?
offers, but he also makes it conditional on her agreeing to be a surrogate.
Oh, right.
Well, that's a different thing, though.
So
He offers it a couple
ridiculous-
times.
As ridiculous as the Q plotline and this character and the purple lipstick is, this is actually a really deep episode, and the discussion of cultural differences about suicide
Oh
and
yeah,
mental
definitely.
health. It's pretty mind blowing, actually.
Yeah, the trial scenes and stuff. It's honestly it is my favorite episode.
I do like
sure.
the trial.
God, this is like agreeing to the Q. This is like agreeing to be held to the legal system of literal chimpanzees.
Right.
That's
Like, after
well,
this, doesn't
chimpanzee.
you-
Hey, whoa, Ryan! Don't besmirch the good name of the chimpanzee legal system.
Chimpanzees are the craziest monkey in the world.
Craziest?
Yes,
Those
they're
are worse.
they're
Definitely.
they're all
very
mad.
sane by chimp standards.
By our standards, yeah.
Like
but,
baboons
like,
too, babies
Chimpanzees
and
are
stuff.
crazy.
It's really funny.
yeah, but that's like you saying humans are crazy.
We are crazy.
That's what he's
yeah,
saying.
I know, but
Yeah. But like chimps rip each other's limbs off, and they also commit murder.
Hardcore.
And
Yeah.
they hunt in gangs, and they do a beatdown. to the
Yeah,
death.
it's literally us.
Yeah.
quite a few
Yeah.
animals commit murder. but yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The chimp is one. No. But no, murder as in like we will hunt and track down a chimpanzee for infringing in our forest, and it will be like a gang beatdown, an initiation, basically.
We really are just chimpanzees.
We have inherited the problem of primate violence.
Do you think Tuvok was just reading like a report from like Deep Space Nine, and he was like, "If Q come, punch Q, Q will leave."
But there's
No- must
there's
have
no
profit
punching in
powers
this
inside you.
episode.
Yeah.
I know it's.
I like how Q went to DS9 and got punched, and he was like, well, they're boring. Let's move to a different one."
The Q are the easiest aliens to get rid of in all of Star Trek.
No,
We
they make
say
you go
that
through all kinds of
Q. We say that Q left because he got punched, but really Q seemed into it.
Yeah, Q loved it. But here, I like how he picks his lawyer as Tuvok, because it's like he'll be impartial.
Who else is he gonna pick? Neelix.
Now that's an episode
Tom
I want to
Paris.
see. Neelix advocating for suicide.
I think we get an episode about that later.
Oh yeah, that's not. I want to see.
Here
This
it's
is-
mentioned that Vulcans do suicide when they are infirm of age. So in their culture, it's okay, basically. Like
We never see that. I think Tuvok might be lying. Like Sarek is. If anyone's gonna do it, Sarek would, and he didn't. And then Tuvok himself does it in the alternate future where he has space dementia.
Sarek needs to have a chat with Picard first. We don't know how he actually died.
Oh, I also love the episode where like the 60-year-old
that's true.
guy has to kill himself in TNG.
Yeah, Mark Leonard died. Sarek did not die. Well, no, Sarek died actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, they mentioned he died because Picard had to tell Spock.
Yeah.
What? Who's the 60-year-old dude? Who? What?
you know, in the TNG episode, like Loxana's boyfriend, he has to go and kill himself
Oh,
because
that
he's
guy.
60.
Half a life.
That's
yeah.
another. Yeah, that's a great
That's
suicide
another one,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah, that's extremely tragic because he's doing the research to save their planet, and they're still like, you got to walk the plank. So Quinn is never named in this episode. They just call him Quinn in the script.
Isn't Quinn Q's kid?
No, that's
this
just Q
guy's-
Jr.
Oh, Quinn's this guy then.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Quinn. Also known as Q.
Or Q2.
Or just Q.
Right.
We're about to meet Q2.
The episode was also named Death Wish, which is a Charles Bronson movie that was kind of famous.
Apparently, Quinn auditioned for the role of Odo,
Oh.
competing
Okay.
with Rene Aubergenois and Andrew Robinson, aka Garrick.
John Delancey calling himself to the stand is like the most brilliant moment of the Voyager writing team.
And now we're all just listening to Q talk.
So
It's very compelling.
It is.
Some
It's good.
they mentioned before that he's a philosopher, and there is another philosopher that chose suicide, and his name was Socrates.
I'm pretty sure wasn't Socrates the one that was forced to commit suicide?
Right, but he had a choice of exile. He was found guilty of teaching against the gods and corrupting the youth. And so his choice was to either go in exile, and he's like, I'm from Athens, so I'm not going anywhere else. You're going to have to put me down.
Yeah, put him down.
And then his followers even say, like, we'll smuggle you out of here. He's like, no, I mean, that is the punishment. I'm going to fit the crime. Where's the hemlock? You know.
But Socrates,
according to Plato, he was
sent out and lived in the
sentenced to die by drinking poison.
Okay. Anyway, in the apology, he was found guilty of preaching against the gods because they accused him of being impious because he taught that you should follow virtue. But he didn't preach against the gods. He just preached about virtue all the time. And then corrupting
Was
the
he
youth.
the one who was endlessly annoying and kept asking people stuff?
Yeah.
And everybody hated?
Yeah. And he had to self-mute on the Discord. Yeah.
I suppose he could have fled, but instead he chose to accept the execution.
But good writing, Star Trek.
You, what do you complain? You love chaos. That's your whole thing. You're Loki. Come on.
Remember that episode where Q was an air traffic controller?
Yeah, it was tragic. We lost Q Jr. too.
Yeah.
Did I attend the Star Trek 30th anniversary and ask Delancey about who he'd annoy in real life? No. No, I have never met John Delancey or gone to any convention. Why don't we get a legal episode about this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, suicide is not allowed in our society. If you say you're gonna do it, we call the cops and they haul you away.
So, if you're going to be arrested for committing suicide, I believe the appropriate thing to say to the cops is, "You'll never take me alive."
800-273-8255. 800-273-8255.
Which episode was Q accused of being mentally unstable?
This one, right here.
No,
5
no, the
minutes
one
ago.
Tuvok
that's when
was
they took away
asking about.
powers.
Was that TNG? Had to have been.
Yeah, it must have been. It's the one where like he gets his powers taken away, and the catamaran is there.
Oh right.
Oh, hey, John.
Catamaran, count to 4.
No.
This episode was also directed by Jonathan Frakes, right?
Maybe.
I believe so.
I'm just surprised Riker actually knows who this is offhand. It's a big fleet.
Yeah, but a ship disappearing is kind of big news.
And Riker keeps track of every woman in Starfleet.
No, but do you remember that the Malaysian Airlines that disappeared over the Pacific Ocean, and how that was like big news for 30 days? That's what Voyager was in the 24th century.
Okay, but I don't know what the pilot looked like.
Yeah, but okay. Does that mean that Riker was brought from the present? Because Janeway hasn't been in command of Voyager for very long.
Yeah, no. The
Why is
Enterprise is
Riker
just
still
missing its
wearing
officer
the
now.
TNG uniforms?
Because the starships were still doing that in season something of DS9.
Yeah, like
remember whenever the starships docked to the station, they were still using TNG uniforms.
Voyager will use TNG for the rest of the series because they're not in line with the rest of the fleet. They're when they left, they were wearing TNG uniforms.
Hang on, wait, is Riker's combat actually different?
Yes. Also, is Sir Isaac Newton the same as the one from the Data TNG episode? When he's talking, Barclay or who?
It looks like it.
Is talking with Newton at the poker table.
It looks like it.
I'm confusing two Newtons.
Star Trek. I mean, they probably look about the same in any case, because they're both cosplaying as Isaac Newton.
So Quinn...
It looks like, those were different guys.
Not only advances Newtonian physics for humanity, but he also advances, pop culture and...
You know who else advanced Newtonian physics? Newton.
No, because he caused the apple to fall, Quinn. If that didn't happen, nothing would have happened. And then...
So you're saying Newton did not advance Newtonian physics? What do you mean no?
We had the intervention, and it was Leibniz invented it first, so
Yeah, they invented it roughly at the same time. It's fine.
Yeah. But also Woodstock, our cultural revolution that happened, the sexual revolution in the 60s. Peace, love, rock and roll. Watershed moments. Thaddeus Riker.
Thaddeus? I feel like that name's gonna come up again in the future. Riker is really weirdly attached to his great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah.
I know a fair amount.
It's like he names his son Thaddeus.
It's like me worrying about what my family was doing during the Crusades or the Siege of Constantinople or something.
That's my great 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 grandmother Hungadatha, who invented bronze.
Right.
Isaac, you would never.
Cancel culture.
His tie-dye looks a lot like bloodstains to me. It's concerning.
Yeah.
Like, did someone stab him before he showed up?
He said Scarsdale. That's like a posh section of New York.
Oh, it's the 60s. He's probably a serial killer. Like everybody else.
Without Q, the Borg wouldn't have known they were there. Thanks, John.
I know it's briefly mentioned, but the Q have completely gotten rid of other Q before, right?
Yeah, they took away their powers and killed them with a tornado.
So, like, I still don't understand why this is a problem.
Why is it's like asking why is suicide a problem in our society? Like, we value human life. We think we want to affirm that
But
each
when the
person
Q
is
openly
important.
murder people of their own continuum.
Yes, we have the death penalty too. So I understand your criticism.
True, but
Europe does not have the death penalty, by the way. So if you're outside of, it's only, and the majority of executions in the United States are done in the state of Texas and a few other states. And in Starfleet, there's only one death penalty left on the books.
And there's actually 2 death penalties left on the books.
The first
Each
one
of
is
them
visiting
is the
Talos
last
4. The
death
second one is signing up for Starfleet. It's a bad idea.
Ryan,
You have a different
actually,
death
anyone,
penalty.
correct me if I'm wrong, but they do the whole "it's the only death penalty" thing, like, left on the books twice, right?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to
Ginsburg
look
was
this
actually
up.
still alive when this aired. He died
Who
1 year
was?
later. Ginsburg. Ginsburg was still alive. He died 1 year later after this aired.
Oh, Woodstock dude?
Wow.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Alan
Ruth
Ginsburg.
Bader's. Like, yeah, probably, I guess. Yeah, Ruth Gator Ginsburg was also alive at this time. Probably no relation. What if you used your Q powers to mentally affect Janeway and make her rule in your favor?
because Q would know.
Well, of course Q would know if Q did it.
All right, yeah. All right. I've looked it up. Right, here we go. General Order 4 describes that Starfleet expressly forbids the death penalty, with the only exception being mutiny, and then General Order 7 sentences you to death if you go to Talos 4, which is described as the only death penalty left on our books.
Yeah. I see.
So there's 2 only death penelties left.
Yeah,
on the book.
There's 2
Maybe
things.
going to Talos 4 is
things.
just considered a subset of treason.
Yeah.
No, treason and mutiny are different things.
Maybe it's only time period. I don't know.
Is General Order 4 and General Order 7 part of the same time period?
Yes, that sounds like they would both be TOS lines.
Yeah, they were both. I mean, one was from. They're
I don't
maybe
think
like
they used the
4
term General
years
Order
apart
after
from
TOS.
each other.
Right.
Maybe they got rid of the Talos 4 one after they went there.
Well, does that mean that they, like, while the Talos 4 one was active, mutiny did not carry the death penalty, and they were like, all right, we're Starfleet, we hate the death penalty.
If mutiny carries the death penalty, why didn't they execute Michael Burnham?
Yeah, why haven't they executed everyone?
Or Spock?
Or, well...
Or Riker.
Or Riker.
No, Riker was on the team that didn't do it.
Or Data.
No, not that mutiny. When he mutinies against fake Picard.
Mutiny.
That's still mutiny.
Oh, but that's different.
Spock, Kirk, Scotty.
Picard should have just, like, executed Riker on the spot right there.
He mutinies against a fake Picard twice, I think.
Scotty stole the Excelsior and stole the transwarp parts from orbit. That's pretty mutinous.
He should have taken the entire TOS cast and just had them rounded up and shot.
Yeah, when they take the Enterprise to save Kirk and company from Rura Pente, that was not an authorized mission.
Yeah, they're like,
the Enterprise.
destroy the Enterprise.
And when
Captain
when they stole
Kirk,
the Enterprise and then
for
destroyed it.
crimes against green women, you have been sentenced to death.
So, are you allowed to bribe the judge? No, right?
You're not allowed
Probably
to.
not.
I like to say, since like they made Earth come out the window and then they made it disappear and the stars didn't change, it just looks like they just destroyed
It's
the
only a
planet.
model.
Yeah.
Shh. They moved Earth. They didn't
moved
the whole
Earth,
of
right.
Earth to Voyager.
He moved Earth just to show Janeway what I could do for you.
Yeah, and on Earth there's like 13 million people who like had
Looking
their
up.
cell service interrupted for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then someone looked at it, it's like, hey, it's the Voyager.
It's like, why do our star maps say we're in the Delta Quadrant for like half a second?
It's probably just a glitch. I wouldn't worry about it.
Hey guys, look out the window, it's the Voyager.
Shut up.
It's like,
It's just Voyager.
this is the first time we get a glimpse at the Q continuum.
Oh, apparently the Q continuum is Nevada.
Later we get a Civil War
And
recreation,
looks much more pleasant.
but this is pretty nice. The highway to
I hate the way they end that episode. Like, the crew comes with guns and somehow stops the queue.
Yeah, they just get shot.
Infinity never closes, and the clocks have no time.
Yeah, I really like this part.
This is a really good representation of the old people standing around doing nothing.
Apparently this is Club Ed in Lancaster.
Doggy. Is
Pennsylvania?
Hey, do you think
Lancaster,
the dog
California.
Is the dog a Q, or do the Q have dogs?
I think
Good question.
the dog is a Q because the Scarecrow can also be a Q.
Yeah,
I think conceptually everything here could be a Q.
right.
So yeah, Club Ed. So you could go visit the Q continuum if you want.
Tuvok's just like the road also implies the existence of like a Department of Transportation.
So,
Oh, Q just said, I've been the dog.
Oh, yeah.
So that is a Q.
And the Scarecrow.
And the Scarecrow. And the telephone
So,
poles. And the truck.
This guy.
Are you leaning on a Q right now, Q?
so Quinn is just a
It's
small
every
town
grain
boy
of dirt a Q.
from a small town farm.
How many
And,
Q are there?
He's been down the road too many times, and now he just wants to.
If they ask how many Q there are, they'd probably give us a dumb, like, founder answer. The drop becomes the ocean.
Would you say
it's not helpful?
Would you say
I would say many things.
that is a long road, and that it gets you from there to here?
No, it gets you from here to here because it
Yeah.
goes to the universe and then it comes back to where you started.
Well, yeah, it goes to the universe there and back here.
It takes you from here to there, and then from there to here.
I think it goes from there to here, or wait, no, it goes from here to there, or from here to here.
I mean, they've all spent a long time
long road.
there, but
But to the Q,
their time
here is there.
finally near.
How do you get bored? I don't understand this guy. Like,
what do you mean? How do
there's
you get
still
bored?
time.
I mean, it's.
How do you get
infinite.
bored after like 5? What? How
The-
many things?
The Q supposedly live outside of
14
space
billion
time
years.
and can go anywhere they
14
want
billion years of
at any point in time.
All right.
Given that kind of freedom, like you
Immortality.
could see the entire universe in
Has
an
anybody
infinite
here
amount of
seen
time.
The Good Place?
I've seen the
Yes.
place.
Do you remember the green doors in season 4?
I remember the green doors from season 1, where you just walk through them and nothing happens.
I don't want to spoil too much about what happens, but there's a door you can go through and you can do anything you want. And it's shown that when people have the power to do anything they want at any time, they just get bored.
There's no challenge anymore. Yeah, nothing to
What's
push
the
you
point?
forward.
Look, when you're done reading, you watch a little TV. When you're done watching TV, you cook. When you're done cooking, you learn about mushrooms and gourmet
Well,
olive
what
oil.
if you don't
and
have to cook and there's nothing to learn and you've already
Yeah.
medicinal pickles.
Then once you're done learning about artisanal pickles, you threaten the globe.
Yeah, I mean, Michael's point is valid though. He pointed out that like if you experience all that outside of space and time in like less than an instant, then
The text chat and the voice chat are having completely unrelated conversations.
What's text chat talking about?
The YouTube, they're talking about Federation currency and how it doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay. Just
well,
like how
yeah,
the
that
Q getting
makes
bored
sense.
does.
I mean, you know, what's the other thing about Q
And Hollow
is that
Addiction a little bit as well.
it makes it clear they're not gods, and I kind of like we think of them as that, but only because we're like, you know, puny, but
Not in
chimps.
Last.
they don't think of themselves as that.
What
Well,
do you
maybe
think?
Q does.
What do you
Yeah.
think the rest of Q's newspaper columns were like? Like, what do you think his previous columns were like? Where he's like Christopher Nolan's Gemini Man. It really just it's a decent movie, I guess.
Michael has been a member
Picard
for
Day
10
this year was
months.
pretty dodgy.
Wow.
Captain Picard Day this year wasn't too great.
I wish
what-
our
what do you-
community
what?
would try harder on Captain Picard Day.
I made a video for Captain Picard Day. Are you saying you didn't like it?
No, I'm saying like
We should do a
continually
stream for Captain
try
Picard
harder.
Day, and we could have all the best Captain Picard episodes, like Best of Both Worlds, which is really a Riker episode.
We can deepfake Captain Picard onto all the characters and just watch some other show.
Well, I do need to deepfake Captain Picard onto Captain Picard in Elite Force 2. I still need to get around to that.
So like,
Life
Best of Both Worlds, right?
Yeah.
It's really a Riker episode because Riker gets the posting he wants on the ship he wants. It's the best of both worlds.
All he has
for
to do is
Riker.
finish off
All he-
Picard and he gets to keep it.
You're right. All he has to do is give the command, and instead
wonder.
And he did it twice.
He did give the command.
He
shot Picard.
chooses to wuss out.
No, he doesn't.
Really?
He says fire.
He shot Picard with a big,
It
very
just didn't
big
work.
gun,
Really,
and then he
it's
tried to forcefully
it's a-
disconnect Picard without knowing what the risks were. He really did try to kill him multiple times.
He wants his job.
really
Yeah.
it's a Locutus episode as Locutus learns how futile resistance is and adds the technological and physiological
Biological.
distinctiveness of others to himself. Biological, sorry. And it has people's cultures adapt to surface them.
That's cute. No sense of personal space. Cheating on
Oh,
Captain
tapestry.
Picard with this chick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the definition of a bribe.
Hey,
You are attempting to
It's
bribe
okay. In many
me,
places,
Q.
bribery is perfectly legal. I wouldn't worry about it. He's not bribing Janeway. He's just lobbying Janeway.
What did Data say? Is like, you suggested a course of action, which would include
That would work to
a-
your benefit. You then implied a reward. Clearly, you are.
Yeah, there we go.
Bribery is not honorable. That's just weird, Q. Leave her alone.
Ask Picard.
Why are
What
you
is
so
happening
creepy?
in this scene?
He'll be like, yeah, just go and ask Picard. He knows.
This is where Janeway. This is why Janeway should sleeps with a handgun.
Yeah, I mean, he's done this
I
in
like
Jean
how he
Luc
didn't
too.
actually mention Picard. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
hope
never did
when we
anything
get
like
the
that
Q
for
Civil
something."
War, Janeway takes one of the weapons and just keeps it with her.
Yeah. Oh, Picard, that 2-bit floozy.
I think this is the last time we ever hear of Janeway's lover.
Mark?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares about Mark, really?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
gets
No,
back
I
to Earth
think
and
it comes up in
she's
season
like, "Oh,
6.
hi,
He
Mark."
never did. He never did.
Mark
I
might
did
show
not
up
hit
again,
Q.
but we would never remember because who cares?
She finds out that
yeah,
that he
it-
left her.
Who cares?
Strictly speaking, she left him.
Right.
Yeah.
What about
yeah.
the dog? What about the
Yeah.
dog?
She can't do anything about the dog.
I'm sure the dog moved on too. I wouldn't worry about it. Dog's doing fine.
The
I don't
dog.
have the
dog.
greatest memory.
The dog launches itself into space on like a specially designed starship to get back to Janeway.
I wouldn't want to be in Janeway's position.
No.
No. To be fair, would you want to be in any of this starship's crew's position?
Just don't join
Like,
Starfleet. It's a
Yes,
death sentence.
I would absolutely want
Yeah.
to be on Voyager.
You'd want to be on
Really? You want to
Voyager.
be like murdered by Kazon, the
You
worst
wanna be
species in the
stranded
galaxy?
So far from
the
anything
Borg.
you ever
Some
know.
of them survive all 7 seasons.
You want to be assimilated?
Yeah, but say you had the chance to be a crew member on Voyager, but you didn't get to choose. It was a random pick. Would you still go for it?
Yeah, probably.
Because a lot
Not a
of
main
Compared
character,
to my
just a
life
rich.
right now on Earth in America, yeah.
35%.
At least you're not being assimilated.
Didn't like 35% of the crew die immediately?
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So you've got a
Well,
35%
I'll take those
chance of
odds.
immediate
You could
death,
end up
and then
on the
probably another
hazard
20%
team.
chance of death throughout the series.
Yay.
Good for you, Q.
He's like, I sentence
Judgment.
you to mortality, Q, and Q, I sentence you to death for trespassing and attempting to
well-
bribe a court official.
Now that Q is mortal, we can go ahead and use gun on man. Take him
I'm
out.
not gonna do that. But this
No, they're gonna use
episode has-
hemlock on man.
This episode has one of my favorite lines about Chakotay. So you could replace all of stellar cartography with what he knows.
What does he know about the Delta Quadrant, Chakotay?
No, Quinn. If Quinn joins the Voyager crew, like he knows everything about the galaxy.
You could have him build the spore drive.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's classified information.
he could build it. Oh, they named him Quinn here.
Yep,
So I
he's
was wrong.
Quinn.
Well, it could be like, hey, Quinn,
that
do
he's
you happen
human.
to know the codes for all of the Borg ships? Thanks, we're just going to go and steal some transport coils.
Yeah, hey, do you know the location of the stable wormhole that goes back to Earth?
Yeah, that
Or
would
a
be
way
nice
to
if we-
create one.
Before he dies, can you just tell us that?
Look, this is why Quinn doesn't want to live, because people just try to take advantage of him. Maybe just wants to hang
Exactly.
out. Maybe wants to go to Sandrines.
Well, apparently not.
So
Literally,
Socrates,
hemlock.
I'm like, yeah.
he was the philosopher of the Q continuum. Good episode.
But come on, it was new and different. You never experienced mortality before. Maybe
There's a
you only had to live like 20 more years.
right.
Yeah, just chill out.
There's a
least
small.
Be polite by helping out Captain Janeway after she gave you your greatest wish in existence, huh?
There's a small religion in India. It's called Jainism. They believe in complete nonviolence. The only thing is, though, when you're old, some people they undergo a ritual fast unto the death. So no food, no water, and you just die. And
That's called starvation.
yes, it's called starvation and elder abuse. But somehow, and it's a really good religion because they don't even eat meat because they don't believe in violence. But ritual suicide is an acceptable part of and a very revered part of their tradition. And
Does
it's
it
hard.
count? Is it okay to eat meat if someone else kills it accidentally, like they hit it with their car?
No. Some
What
Buddhists
if it died of natural causes?
some Buddhists they also sweep the road or sidewalk in front of them to prevent themselves from accidentally stepping on an ant or a bug.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Generally,
ritual
Buddhists will
suicide-
accept meat if it's served to them.
Will vegans or vegetarians who
No,
are vegans or vegetarians for ethical reasons eat an animal that died of natural causes just because it was old?
nah.
Some of them.
Uh,
I knew some people who were going to eat their pet pig when it died. They were vegan, I think.
No.
Yeah, as someone who's vegetarian
Oops.
for ethical reasons,
Hi,
I would not eat an
Eric.
animal
Why?
that died of natural causes, but I would eat like one of my own limbs if it just got like decapitated or like amputated and they couldn't do anything with it.
that's an
Okay.
interesting choice.
So I'm anti meat eating with the exception of cannibalism.
Wait. Eric gave me €1 and said €1 for each dead Q. So can I expect like 3 million euros in the Civil War episode? There's gonna be a lot of Q there. By the way, 1 minute to the next episode, Lifesigns, so everyone queue up. Actually, how
I'm
many
gonna
Q
leave,
actually died?
guys.
Well, we don't know how many there are.
At least 4.
You have 4 that have names.
Kalar, Quinn, Q, and Blonde Q. And Old General Q.
Is
And
the
then there's a
name
bunch of
given to him?
background Q.
You're including the like magistrate woman in the opening to TNG.
Oh, and there are 2
Oh
Qs.
no, that's Q himself. Never mind.
There's 2 in the judge
Just because
queue.
he's wearing a dress doesn't mean he's suddenly a woman.
And then there's a Q who like kills another Q, and that's never. Oh no, that's Odo. Never mind.
Wait, isn't there like
Is
2
Odo a
other judge
Q?
queues sitting next to Q in the all good things part?
No, that was just Q and a bunch of hallucinations.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just cute.
Okay, everybody get ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave. It's
I
Oh,
like
midnight
that
here.
opening.
Have
The
a good night.
Voyager.
It's the
Bye.
Voyager.
Oh, we've got the paraffin light thing.
Wait, this scene is a little bit. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but Tom Paris says, "I should be a father," and Harry Kim says, "Nothing." Just pats him on the back.
Look at this continuity we're doing. Tom Paris being insubordinate and churlish. We had it a few episodes ago. We have it now. We're gonna have it in the next episode.
Big build up.
The Vidines are
I
all
think it's-
sick, you dinguses. That's their whole thing.
They're
It's
not
actually
evil,
the
though.
B plot of this entire episode.
Of this season.
Their whole civilization revolves around having COVID.
Look,
We're fortunate.
I don't want to say the pandemic isn't severe because it is, but it doesn't do that to you.
Well, it kills
We're-
you.
We're not
That's
harvesting
enough.
each other for
It
organs
kills you, but
yet.
it doesn't make you ugly.
And it doesn't make you harvest other people yet.
Makes you. Yeah.
But
Well, with all the scar tissue and lungs, maybe people will start harvesting people's lung tissue.
this episode also shows that Starfleet does not have any code of medical ethics because doctors can fall in love with their patients all the time.
Well, those rules only apply to people, and he's a hologram, so
Yeah, but Dr. Bashir did the same thing with Serena, and
Did
yeah.
they program the holograms to love?
Or is that an evolution? What's the deal here?
Is Dr. Zimmerman even capable of love?
it says that his program adapts to the situation. So yes, he's capable of love. Thank you very much.
Is Julian capable of love?
No, he's just capable of creepiness.
But he loves O'Brien.
That is true.
And Andy loves Garrick.
That is true.
I don't know if he loves Garrick. I don't know if I'd call it love.
Love
An
each
interest of
other.
some sort.
There's many different kinds of love, Ryan.
So how about that weather?
There's the love where you love when the other person lies to you.
Julian would never do that, though.
No, but
Because the
Garrick
first duty
lies.
of every Starfleet officer is to the truth.
Yeah, but Garrick lies, and Julian loves it.
$50 million gigaquads. How many bytes are in a quad? Is it 4 bytes to
It's
quad? Is that
never
how it works?
explained. The writers were smart enough to like understand Moore's law, so they just were like, no, they use a completely different.
Yeah, the TNG writers gave Data an actual number of 8 quadrillion bits or something.
But here's the thing, though. Right after that thing where he says I'm 54 gigaquads, is he says that that's more than the average humanoid brain, which means in Star Trek they know how much hard drive space our brain has. And in my mind, our brains are not hard drives. There's no physical limit to memory.
Well, I mean, there's only so much physical space, so there's a limit somewhere.
But I don't think we know that limit, like, because we're capable of phenomenal feats of memory.
There is a limit, though.
But it's not a hard drive. But it wouldn't
be represented in like bits. No.
Yes, and it's not a hard drive. It's I would argue it's not a storage.
No,
system.
It's a very soft and squishy drive.
Yes.
It's very fragile, really.
But what I'm saying is, though, it's not a physical medium, and that's very controversial to say. But I'm saying it's not a. But wait, okay.
Hang on, do you have cloud storage for your brain?
That's what I'm saying.
Quite literally a physical medium, because it's a brain.
What do you mean by it's not a physical medium?
Okay,
Explain.
but the encoding is not in zeros and ones, and
we actually store memories in other parts of our body too.
I keep all of my memories in my liver.
Is that a drinking alcohol joke?
No.
You got rid of the memories by putting them in your liver?
No, I just keep them there. No. What's the line from Star Trek 6? Not everyone's brain is in the same place.
No, not everyone's genitals are in the same place.
Oh gosh. Those are in the liver too.
So hang on, to address text chat for like the first time in this stream, Garrick being gay. I think the writers never wanted him to be. That was just Andrew Robinson making him that way.
Yes.
No, Ira Stephen Burr has said that they wanted to go there.
Okay.
Andy
definitely did. So Andy and Ira.
Yeah, those were the only two.
But the actor who played Bashir wanted Bashir to be gay, but they couldn't. They wouldn't.
They spent an inordinate time together with O'Brien.
Ugh,
in any case, Garrick is not heterosexual. He is at least bi.
I mean, to be a good tailor, you have to be a little bit.
Oh, we just got a spoiler in the credits. Martha Hackett is in this episode.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
I think fortunately for me, I didn't actually hear what you said. But yeah, Martha Hackett is in this episode. That's Seska. I don't know what she's gonna do, but she's here.
She's up to.
It said to be a good tailor, you have to be a little bit gay.
I
didn't finish the sentence.
Sick.
I didn't finish the sentence. I said you have to be a little, and I didn't say what. So, and I left it there.
Oh, I see. You just implied it.
Ryan, has someone made the Suska joke yet? Because she's an imposter.
Now someone has.
Little sus.
Yeah.
Suska.
Does she ever climb through the Jeffries tubes?
Is this the one where the doctor builds a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
Oh man. What a great idea.
This is kind of interesting because again, this is the mind-body thing that I was hinting at before. Like if you could put somebody's brain engrams into a holographic body, because it's still
Look
her
how
brain that
smug he looks right
perceives.
now.
Like her brain is on the sick bed, and like her body is perceiving through the hologram. He
Giving
didn't
her
create
a
another
little
part
bit
of
of unfounded hope, though, because I think she thinks you cured the phage, and you didn't.
No,
Yeah,
the think tank
right.
ends up curing the phage.
Do they really, though? Because now that's an
That's what they
unclear
say.
question with the recent Prodigy episode.
Yeah, and that's also like 7 seasons away.
They might have been lying to
Well,
Janeway just to talk themselves
They
up
might
their
have been.
resume.
No, but
It's true.
they were geniuses. Like they had AI and everything. Like, you know,
It was
we
George Costanza. Come on.
but if we can come out with a COVID vaccine using the artificial intelligence, you know, with the Moderna in less than a year, you know, that's due to AI.
Jerry, I'm trying to cure the phage here.
Yeah, I'm unemployed and I live with my parents. That's the
I
truth.
live with my parents. And my boss expects me to cure the phage next week.
Just want to point
okay.
out that the Doctor has never seen someone cry because they're happy, or does not know of this fact.
Also, there's nothing wrong
I
with
mean,
living
usually
with your
people
parents.
aren't happy when they have to go to the hospital.
He knows now why they cry, but it's something he can never do.
This is the first time we see someone, a Vidian, who's not all gross. That's just what
that's
they
true.
look like.
And I think it's the only time, right?
I believe so.
They were such a beautiful race.
They're humans, but with bigger foreheads and eyebrow ridges.
The makeup is done really nicely. I can't even tell where it starts and ends.
It's not perfect.
It starts in the forehead. You're both computer simulations now.
You are dead.
Just
Welcome to my cyber hell.
That's a great answer, though. You're just a
An
computer.
incredibly sophisticated computer simulation.
An incredibly sophisticated one.
Just the Doctor.
It is pretty
she's
crazy how
gonna
they
call
never
him
cared to name him.
Schmollis.
Yeah.
Wallace.
It's an awful
Schmellis.
name.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Just our tongues are not used to it. I like it as a name, actually.
Better than Joe.
It's
I
better than
don't
Dr.
think
Zimmerman.
SH should be the first syllable. SH can be somewhere in the middle or at the end. I don't like it as the first syllable.
Zimmerman.
Shimmerman.
Armin Shimmerman.
Yes.
Also, something.
Oh, you're gonna give her an existential crisis, Doc.
Shiloh,
I don't know if you want to show her that.
Shannon.
Because
Shia LaBeouf.
French a knife. It's
Actual
Shia.
cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
there's an old saying, physician, heal thyself. It's like the same way a barber can't cut his or her own hair.
What do you mean? I cut my own hair.
A
I do
physician
too.
cannot heal thyself.
Actually,
There's
I haven't cut it in-
lots of recorded
own
instances
Band-Aid
of self-surgery.
Yeah, you can do that.
You
It's not
shouldn't,
easy.
though.
Yeah.
Self-surgery is for desperate situations.
Did you know that if you go to Antarctica now and you're the doctor, you have to take your appendix out beforehand?
Really? Oh, sure. That makes
No,
sense.
I don't believe it.
I mean, it makes sense because no one has time to do that to take care of you. You need to be
Well, I think
ready.
they have time. I just don't think they're able to.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
Oh, I'd love to heal you, Doc, but I'm so busy shoveling the sidewalk.
no, it's more like these people need your aid, and we can't afford for you to be a patient yourself.
So, hang on. The doctor wants to cut into B'Elanna's head and take out part of her brain for transplants?
Yeah, she's a Klingon. She's very useful for healing phages. She's
But why
already
does
heard
she
the
need the?
speech.
It's not just this episode. I've never understood the point of the gown. Why do they have to put on a surgical gown? We're not like cutting into her abdomen and need easy access. It's her head.
Well, it's reasons.
Apparently, they end up using the gown again in Year of Hell. The bad dude's wife wears it.
They can hypospray through clothing. He's not even a real person. He's a hologram. Why does she need the gown?
Just have her be naked.
Don't make it weird. There you go, Robo. For the first time, I don't make it weird. It's someone else.
Oh, thank you. It's part of my New Year's resolution to have fewer Don't Make It Weirds.
Okay.
Yeah, mine too.
Don't make it weird.
Mine too. But although this episode is, you're not supposed to like love your patient, so please, like, keep it professional.
This is what she's looking at her own head being cut open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would freak you out a bit.
Yeah, it's like it would be better for your long-term health to turn this off. It's like I'm having so much fun.
I mean, I can't really blame her. It's the first time she's been able to enjoy herself in, ever.
True.
If they'd met her a few, well, then there'd be out of Vidian territory, I suppose. But a
Reminds me of
few, and they'd have the mobile emitter.
YouTube short that I saw where this YouTube channel Jimmy Darts takes this homeless guy to Disneyland for a day, and then so it's like, how do you just help someone's life in a crazy way? And then they drop her back to her colony.
That wouldn't help a homeless person very much.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, the rides are really great. He could forget about his problem for a day.
They're all right.
He gave him money at the end too, like $500 or something.
Wow, that
It's
kind of
Vidian.
reminds
Kill
me
her. Put her in the brig.
of the COVID crisis right now.
Oh, she's a doctor. Missed that part.
Yeah, she's an esteemed scientist on our homeworld.
Maybe you wouldn't need her beauty to eliminate your dark cavern if you turned on a light. This room is lit by like 4 candles.
Why do aliens have Italian accents?
In
They're
France.
from the Italy. It's the same thing as in Sub Rosa.
But this is France.
Yeah, also, but he's like a alien we've never seen before. And he's like, tutto mangelli.
Maybe he grew up on Earth. You don't know.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe...
I'm glad I could fulfill someone's deepest wish of wanting to watch a blurry, silent episode of Star Trek. Warms my heart.
See, this is what we do with the Rhymes Edits channel. We make dreams come true.
Yes.
If this is your first time here, the idea is you bring your own video and you cue it up to the time frame that's shown on your screen.
And if it is your first time here, please ask Ryan in about 20 minutes why it's blurry.
And use the phrase "the Voyager" as much as possible.
Yes.
I denounce you.
And
I
request
denounce you
videos
as
that he made a
well.
year ago.
Ryan, my words are backed with nuclear weapons.
And there's no singing allowed.
Except the doctor. The doctor can
Singing
sing.
in the chat would be quite difficult. Although I challenge the chat to try and make it look like they're singing.
There's like the musical note emojis.
Right.
Well, they're just
But,
gonna stop putting lyrics in the chat.
So I like how the Doctor gets more action than Harry Kim.
Well, nobody likes Harry.
He also gets promoted more than Kim.
But like Marseille, you know, like Neelix interrupting the date, he's getting like, and
Harry Kim gets way more action.
I mean, only
the
from
Doctor
Tom
literally
Paris.
gets promoted to captain. So technically,
Harry does get.
Kim.
Harry gets 2 girlfriends in the show that I remember. There's the one that dies and is resurrected as a zombie, and there's the lady that's an alien, and he gets berated for it.
What about the one back on Earth?
And then there's one that he gets the
she doesn't
STD
count.
from. Right.
That technically never happened.
Okay.
I mean, technically it did, but technically it didn't, right?
It's unclear.
Yeah.
Libby, though, yes. 3 if you
the
count
rated
Libby.
is he says no, ma'am, when the captain tells him to break up with her, and he's like, "I've said yes, ma'am, to you the whole time, and now, no." And it's like, that's your
What are you
commission right
planning
there.
to do, Harry? You're gonna take her on
Yeah.
on Voyager with you. You staying here? Is this a relationship or is it a fling? What's the deal?
Yeah. And we all know you're angling for that promotion, so there's no way you're gonna say no, ma'am, after 7 years in the Delta Quadrant.
After 7 years in the Delta Quadrant, he gives up trying to get a promotion and just does whatever he wants.
That's what I would do, honestly. I'd just be like, oh, what are you going to do? Shove me out the airlock? Nah, I'm not leaving the holodeck for the next 70 years.
Where do you want to work in Starfleet? Because I think the science department is
should
probably the safest, but it's also, hard. You have to be smart and stuff.
Up until about 2 years ago, I would have answered Utopia Planitia, but Picard changed that.
Yeah, don't go there. That's a bad place.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of being an engineer in Starfleet, but being in O'Brien's position and being at Utopia Planitia are no longer options.
Jupiter Station.
Oh yeah, nothing goes wrong at Jupiter Station.
If you go to Jupiter Station, all the people in the field are going to be mocking you relentlessly.
Yeah.
I'll just go.
Kiss the girl already.
Yeah. Technically not a girl.
Space Dock, McKinley Station.
That's a hologram.
Kiss the
it's a hologram,
hologram
of a girl.
McKinley Station.
It's a hologram.
It's not a design station.
It's a hologram that's actually giving consent.
A hologram that doesn't know anyone else but you.
Well, no, she is literally a live connection to that living person's brain, so it's not like it's a simulation that's created for recreational purposes like some people do.
Well,
it's literally a real person.
Like Geordi and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yes, we are talking about Geordi.
And we've got the B plot.
So, Chakotay.
It's been a while since we had some B plot in this episode.
It has.
Oh, Chakotay. Wait, is Chakotay genuinely trying to help, or is he going to be all snarky about it?
He's got to try all the different tactics.
It seems like Chakotay actually
They're
cares.
building up the Chakotay and Paris falling out.
Yeah.
Beltran may not care, but
Tom, you don't have to be mean about it. I think Beltran cares. At this point, I don't think he wrote off the show yet.
No, I know, but the writers are writing that line to make fun of the actor. It's like, I think you've stopped caring. Just write that for Chakotay.
Wait, what do you mean that's not the way you... The intro sequence has a shot of them flying through a nebula. Why can't we fly through the emissions nebula?
That is actually not a bad idea because you might get home faster.
How much piloting could they possibly have to do there in space?
Plus, the
There's nothing
pilots will
there.
just the pilots will just not ignore all the distress signals, so it'll be much safer as well.
Yeah.
Put the crew into cryo sleep and put it on autopilot and just go.
Yep. No more talking to everyone along the way.
He said, the Voyager.
The
Crew.
Voyager.
It's the Voyager crew.
It's the Voyager.
Crew. He didn't say the Voyager crew, though. Oh, Tarth is gonna perform some sabotage. What you doing, Karth? I feel like any signals going out from the ship should be monitored because who's calling someone?
Yeah, Tuvok's not doing a very good job.
Yeah, who's someone wants to Skype the Kazon? Oh, that's fine. Sure, that's harmless.
I mean, I'm sure he disguises so it just looks like it's going to nobody, but I mean, why is anything going out at all?
Well,
So
we'll
any
find out in the
incoming
next
signal should be
episode.
fairly easy to figure out.
So he's programmed to fall in love with Patience as the situation arises. This is supposed to happen. It's a feature.
The Doctor never really would have become human if it weren't for Kess's influence, I feel like.
Yeah, Kess was quite a big part of that, and so was Seven.
Yeah, but right, Kess was there at the beginning and Seven finished it at the end. But also Doctor guided Seven through her humanity as much as she did.
And he falls in love with her too.
Well,
Yeah.
at least we get a duet from it. You are my
Yeah,
sunshine.
I like it better with the platonic relationship with Kess.
Yeah, but only because like Kess is coming from Neelix, and so like it's good to see her in in like a professional context, being a healthy, mature, responsible woman.
Yeah.
Is it Kess? How would you know Kess? How would you know? You've only known Neelix.
Well,
Doctor, if you really want to show this woman you care about her, you need to make sure you can't take her to the holodeck anymore because there'll be other people there. You need to make sure she's only with you in sickbay.
Good advice.
No, that's bad advice. Wait, whose advice?
Kess gives all this advice, turns around, and is like, "Oh, wait, I should break up with Neelix."
Yeah.
Yes.
If you like someone, you should let them know I have a crush on you, but not too directly.
I mean, that worked for me.
That's smooth.
And not with anyone else standing there observing the reaction to your prospective mate.
The face palm.
Because like before,
Kess is just standing there like,
I mean, I know I was the one who told you to do that, but I didn't say do that. See, before she was like, "Oh, can we go back to the holodeck? Can you keep my program on?" And now she's like, "Let's just be professional." So
stabs the brain.
Oh,
posterior sciatic nerve. That's a nerve in her butt.
it's more in the spine.
It's not, but okay.
It's
Oh dear.
Well, it connects to the
Robo,
butt.
what happened to that New Year's resolution?
Yeah, I mean, I'm being good, Robo. Can you try to be good?
So he got advice from Kess, and now he's getting advice from Tom Paris.
Okay, right. He should have come to
what was
Harry
this?
Kim.
What was this about Taylor's new review?
Mm-hmm.
So
I
he
stop
he got
myself.
advice from the woman in an abusive relationship, and from the man who, I don't know if he's abusive. We haven't actually seen him in a relationship, but he's definitely kind of a womanizer.
Yeah, he's not the rejection king. He's more like the playboy archetype.
Just talk to
The
anyone
playboy
else.
who I don't think
Doctor.
ever hooks up with another crewmate over the course of the entire show, except for the one. He's like
Harry?
Catholic.
Harry's Catholic.
Harry Kim is Catholic?
I don't know. I made that up.
Okay.
Maybe.
Paris is Catholic because France is a Catholic country.
I mean, that's stereotyping.
Yeah.
He's not even French. He just likes France.
Yeah, he's from San Francisco, isn't he?
Just because his name is Paris doesn't mean he's from Paris. That's not how this works.
True, but don't get your love advice from someone who's a rake.
Just because your name is everyone's favorite doesn't mean you're everyone's favorite.
That's where you're wrong.
You never completely get over a woman you care about. That's not true.
I mean, I guess it depends why you're not with them.
Yeah, it's just anyway. This is why my entire teenage puberty era, because the only love advice I was getting in my life was from Voyager, TNG, Deep Space Nine.
So the worst possible
yes.
sources.
Yeah.
You were getting romance advice from Rick Berman.
Yeah.
It was one mistake after another, I'll tell you.
You should just try harassing the people you like and then fire them.
Yeah.
There's the only advice you need is just talk to her like she's a person. There you go.
Right.
We did it.
I know. But you never get that in Voyager, TNG, Deep
No,
Space
they
Nine.
don't do that. They're crazy people.
The best way to get in a relationship is by using a tachyon pulse beam.
To bounce it.
Or what about that scene?
Bounce a graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish into her head.
I mean, they kind of the one time they kind of tried to say that was with weirdly enough Data's relationship, where the more different he became from himself, the less the relationship worked.
Yeah.
So
and then
that was kind of that message.
On her end, she got out of a relationship with an unemotional man, and she fell right back into a relationship with an unemotional man. So notice the pattern.
Literally incapable of feeling emotion.
Except he is capable of feeling emotion. It's all a lie. It's a ruse. He feels emotion all the time.
You are not my mother. He was pretending to have a marital dispute. That's all he could do. Yeah, don't scare him off.
Don't talk to Tom. Doctor.
Yeah. Don't show
The
up with
holodeck or sick bay.
But we get to see classic cars here, which is a development of Paris's character.
Someone says,
Who should the doctor
Where in the
talk
world
to?
are they going?
Oh my god, you can't wait.
The doctor
We just
can't
mentioned
leave.
we just mentioned Utopia Planitia.
Who should the doctor talk to instead of... He shouldn't talk to Kess or Neelix
You
or
should
Tom.
talk to Tuvok.
Or
Janeway?
Janeway. No, not Janeway.
I mean, Janeway's married. She probably knows a thing or two about dating.
Was she married to Mark?
Okay, I don't actually know,
Tuvok.
but she
I
had
know
Tuvok.
That was her boyfriend.
a very healthy
Tuvok.
relationship.
Don't ask Tuvok. different.
Tuvok would
Tuvok's
be like,
married.
if you'd like, I could remove those emotions from your programming, and you could be logical.
Tuvok does really love his wife and child. I think it comes out later.
Yeah.
So
But,
where are they right now?
They're on a bluff overlooking Utopia Planitia on Mars.
The holodeck.
And
Yes,
just
I got the
'cause you-
holodeck part. Thank you.
just because you drive a classic car and you show up with flowers and candy and a teddy bear does not mean the girl will like you.
What is a teddy bear?
Yeah.
I really wanted to try and eat it.
So he asked this chick out. She said no. And so he just transported her to the holodeck and said, "We're on a date now."
Yeah.
Am I missing something? Is that what happened?
No, I think that's about how it went.
And so I like how they have jazz music to set us in the mood of like,
wait, what?
What's gonna happen? I'm sorry, not jazz, Motown.
Well, that's not the part I'm confused about. She's saying, "Look at those moons," and they're on Mars.
Mars has 2 moons.
It does, but I doubt you could see them from the surface because they're just tiny little asteroids.
They're like over a kilometer across each. They're not small.
But they're also like not on the surface. They're
But
ways
Mars
away.
itself is small, so
No,
they might
Mars
be
is
orbiting
about
quite
the
close.
size of Earth. In fact, it's a little bit bigger, if anything.
Mars is smaller than Earth by a
Like,
decent margin.
Yeah, it's smaller. Let me look up what do Deimos and Phobos look from the surface.
It looks like
Yeah, do that.
moons.
A kilometer's
They're not
Because
round.
I would imagine they kind of just look like stars.
To be fair, this might also be Tom Paris's holodeck creation being a little bit non-perfect.
Yeah, does Mars have classic cars sitting on the surface?
Yeah,
But-
that's why we sent the Tesla up.
But do put on good music to get your date in the mood.
I really want them to go and catch the Tesla in a couple of years' time when it comes back. Because it's going to come back on a close approach to Earth again.
But
Elon Musk, like thousands of years, millions from years from now, is like going to be on some space voyage looking for his car.
You don't need a car to make you cool.
I found one picture of Phobos from the surface of Mars. Which, I mean, the fact that that even exists is interesting.
Yes. Do share.
Put it in general or something.
No,
I'll put that in general, and I'm also putting it on the YouTube stream.
Okay, we're waiting.
Make sure it's not blurred. They'll be angry at you.
It's not blurred. Well, I mean, it's a little blurry because it's downscaling from my resolution of 1440p to the stream resolution of 1080p.
Okay, so it looks like the International Space Station, but a little bigger.
Yeah, you can kind of see a
but it's
shape
not-
there.
Yeah, you can
Pretty
see
clever
it, but
shape.
it's not impressive or anything.
It's like a tiny satellite.
It looks like Venus.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like to me.
Right.
It's bright. It's a bright star.
Right.
What if Paris just pushes Tuvok over too? It's just like that. It's like that internet video where like you just keep shoving people.
I don't think he'd shove Tuvok too far, and Tuvok would just, pinch him.
I don't know. Is Tuvok in on it?
Chakotay comes from a Maquis crew, and like that's not, in other words, like you're liable for a beatdown if you come from a pirate.
Yeah. How come this guy always leaves his lights off?
He needs to sneak in case someone looks in the window.
Yeah, but and like, why doesn't he have headphones on if he's so prioritized with being?
They don't
sneaky?
have headphones in the future. All your questions are so answerable. They don't believe in privacy or
What if someone's, like,
espionage.
What if they're like looking for someone like where's Ensign Suter, and the computer's like Ensign Suter is conspiring with Seska in his quarters.
Oh, thank you, computer. That's not Suitor, but yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot his name.
That's Carthonasi.
Oh yeah.
Lawn Suitor is Grima. Oh, she's poisoning herself so she can stay a hologram.
Not how that works.
Something I didn't understand. When he tells Kess to like run and go get this before something bad happens, it's like, well, you're a hologram. You can, I don't want to say literally, but literally zap around sickbay, with the holo emitters and get everything yourself much faster.
Yeah, could he like use the holo emitters to like use the force?
Yeah, or like the wizard from Fantasia. Mickey's.
But he
sorcerer.
can't take physical items with him when he transports around the sickbay.
But why can't he have holographic tools?
Because
and the frame
he
rate,
doesn't.
he can increase his frame rate to run faster than you can see.
Fine, that's acceptable.
So he doesn't need an
Wait,
assistant.
you're
He
saying
could
the
just go
doctor is
himself.
frame rate dependent? They didn't do delta time calculations for the doctor?
They don't have a 10.
Could you overclock the doctor so he performs surgeries in like half the time or something?
They couldn't get a 3090 on the Voyager.
Yeah, it was on back order, and they left before it was installed next Tuesday.
If they hook in the computer system a different starship, could they run the doctor in SLI?
They could probably run two doctors at the same time. I'm not sure if they can run the doctor in SLI and make it faster.
Even here, when he says, "Oh well, of course we can back up her memory. I'm 40 billion gigaquads, and that's less than so." Like it implies there's enough storage space for another mind in there.
What if
they could
have
like two doctors?
What if in the holodecks they just create like a holographic office block and like have holograms fill out all their paperwork or something?
And that's kind of what they ended up doing to the Mark 1 doctors. They put them in a mine.
The lithium mines. But the thing is, why do they still exist at all? Like, why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, we're decommissioning them, and you just delete them? Yeah.
Just toss them in the sun.
Why would you make them into slaves?
Because they're kind of admitting that they are self-aware while not quite admitting it.
I thought that was the whole measure of a man was about,
Yeah, well,
but that was an android. That's different. An android is autonomous. A hologram needs the computer.
And holograms aren't sentient except for when they are.
Yeah, like all 3 times.
Isn't it more cruel for them to not even be aware that they are a hologram and they have all the faculties, of self-determination and self-awareness? They just don't know that they're a hologram.
You see, these are the kinds of questions that Star Trek Voyager is not ready to answer.
What if you are a hologram and you don't know it?
That's fine.
Then why do I have to deal with all the stupid bodily functions? Why can't I just exist?
Then how can I exist outside of sickbay?
Who designed this simulation? Why? Why do I have to take care of my stupid holographic teeth?
Everything's so inconvenient. Make it easier.
Yes, you look like a horrible monster, Denara.
So are these two actresses, one laying in the bed and one, or did they do like a dummy or what?
It's the same actress.
Well, why would they have the same actress in the bed? She doesn't have any lines.
Yeah.
She just lays there.
Oh.
So you have like a physical resemblance, maybe.
You're just gonna put a bunch of makeup on them anyway.
It doesn't need to be that much of a resemblance. It really doesn't need to be that much of a resemblance.
No, it really doesn't. The whole point is the Vidians are not recognizable from their natural state.
Is she like wanting to get put in like a Tamagotchi matrix?
She wants one of those Moriarty cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those were only going
doing it exceptionally well, of course, Doctor.
The little bit of narcissism comes through, hey?
I'm trying to find out if they used a mannequin or just a second person.
Or if they used the
It's
same
probably the
person that
second
was just
person
out.
because, like, they did show them in the same shot, like the person with the.
Maybe they just put her special effects matrix,
No,
special
because
effects makeup
there's
on
no
a
reason for budget.
on a dummy.
Yeah, no.
They just got the, like, you know how they have those like foam heads they use when they're making the makeup.
No.
Maybe they just put it underneath a sheet and stuffed it. I mean, it makes sense. It'd be cheaper than putting a person.
No, an extra costs like $100. Like dummies that look like a person cost a lot.
Well, they already have the rubber mask they put on for the Vidian.
Yeah. And also, like, stuff is filmed.
I'm
out
sure
of the order
Paramount
in
has a
which
lot of dummies around
we see it.
the lot, you know.
Probably.
Yeah, but we had a
There's,
person.
there's
lying on the
probably a
sick
lot
bed.
of dummies in the Star Trek Voyager writers' room.
There's a lot of dummies at Paramount, like Alex Kurtzman.
You're a dummy.
Everyone's
Also,
a
does
dummy.
this episode say like they can just like digitize people's consciousness
Yes.
and like transhumanize people or whatever?
Yes. Yes. And it establishes your brain fits on a hard drive in Star Trek universe.
I think it's a live connection to her brain, is it not? It's not like
Yes.
they're not
But he talks
uploading her
about backing
brain.
up her brain. He talks about backing up her brain if the body.
Yeah, they Bluetooth enabled her face.
Yes. Yes.
Bluetooth my face, doctor, or I'll die.
I would like to ask Alex Kurtzman a few questions.
Well, I have a thing before you criticize.
I'm not
everything.
criticizing. I just want to ask him some
But-
questions. I have
No, you're
questions.
definitely
He's not
criticizing.
here right now.
So the thing is that evolution just says that like we're evolved to find whatever we find normal and attractive to be like pleasant. So why do the Vidians think they're ugly if like they've just grown up seeing their own faces rotting? They'd be kind of beautiful to each other at this point.
Well,
because
they haven't
they are
been
ugly.
They haven't been ugly
ugly
long enough
bags
to
of
like
mostly
evolve
water.
on a genetic level for that. They're just
I'm just, if you're used to like seeing skin
It's
flaking
too-
off,
it's
you
too
find that
recent.
attractive after a
Yeah,
certain
it's
point.
still too recent, and they don't they start out fine.
They probably still have TV shows
What
with regular
percentage
looking people.
Genetics.
Okay.
What percentage of the Vidian population has the phage?
I think
All of them.
large.
Yeah.
No,
They're
it just sounds like they
No,
didn't.
we never
Sounds
see
like
a
it's a-
healthy Vidian ever.
Some
But-
only like get into the terminal stages
'Cause
later
they stay
in
in
life, but they all are
quarantine.
carriers, I think.
No, they don't want to spread the different variants.
They all have the thinning. What was it called?
The
Is that it?
quickening.
The quickening. That's what it was.
But no, that wasn't it. That's a different thing.
That's a
You know what else is a different
DS9.
thing? The next episode, Investigations, which is we're playing in 1 minute. Everyone queue up. Queue up for Investigations, and then when we press play, you press play. And you watch Star Trek. And I'm gonna blur it. And you're gonna ask me why it's blurred, and I'm gonna ban you.
And then I'm gonna ask why it's not the Voyager, and you're gonna ban me too.
But like for example, I think that if like this pandemic keeps going on, we're gonna be more expressive with our eyebrows because we can't read our mouth curling anymore in a frown or a smile because we're wearing masks all the time. So I think like if it keeps going, our eyebrow, we're gonna be more and more expressive, and so we're just gonna be a more eyebrow.
Ooh, we're all gonna turn into Spock. That's how the Vulcans evolved those big eyebrows that go across half their head.
And the ears, so they can stick out of the mask.
Hang on, everybody get ready to press play
I-
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Continue.
I already
The
have very
mask.
distinctive eyebrows,
That's
so
the thing. So the Vulcans developed pointy ears so they could hold onto the masks more easily.
Ah, it's all coming together.
The Vulcans had a
terrible.
300-year pandemic.
So this is Neelix hosting Good Morning America.
Why is it running in standard definition with poor sound quality? And
Why is it interlaced?
Yeah,
Because it's
Voyage,
VHS.
because Neelix, no, because the crew didn't want to see Neelix in high definition, so they gave him like a 20th century camera.
You know, it's like here's the iPhone 2S.
And he was like, "Oh, cool."
Neelix is in like a
So-
holographic simulation of the Voyager. in
The stream
holodeck.
title is QQ Romance and Stew. We've had Q and Q and Romance, and now here's the stew. It's in the background. He was just making it.
He's like, latest update, we are still all going to die before we get back to Earth.
And like no one is eating in my cafeteria.
Yeah, no one wants to eat my food.
Because Neelix is recording this at like 3 a.m. like he usually does.
Ah, you can tell it's 3 a.m. because it's dark outside.
Does Neelix sleep?
No.
No. Because we keep seeing him in the mess hall in the middle of night when someone comes in. And,
It's
and he's like,
always
"Why are
night.
you up so late?"
Why are we... Do we really want to have a gossip channel on
Yeah.
Voyager?
Tuvok just barges through the door. He's like, this program is over. And he like incinerates the camera.
The doctor's like, "Where's my segment?"
Really? I don't believe you, Robert Picardo. You're a doctor, not a performer. Then how come we have like a whole season where you're trying to get to be a singer and opera musician?
Yeah, how
You
can we
literally
have a
want to leave
whole
Voyager
episode
because
where
of
you're
this.
literally a performer?
And trying to leave Voyager because you want to be a performer instead.
Dresses as a
I'm a
clown for
performer.
his
I am not a
opera.
doctor anymore.
Oh, speaking of clowns, I think next week we get the clown.
Wait, does that
A
mean we
different
can blame Neelix on that entire episode? Neelix inspired
Maybe.
the Doctor to become a performer?
Oh. That person you just saw, that is Prince
No, he didn't.
Hussein of Jordan.
Yeah.
Who was a
Now the King of Jordan, I
who
believe.
is now the King of Jordan. He grew up watching Dharma and Greg, very Americanized. But it's another royal person we have on Star Trek. Also Arab person, because
What
it's
is
kind of famous.
potato?
His mother is also an American. Queen Noor was.
What's there to journalize? You're in the middle of nowhere. What editorial?
Well, that's why they're going to turn it into a gossip channel, because that's literally the only thing they can report on.
Yeah. And
They
Neelix
could
is
gossip
like,
about the Kazon, I guess.
Neelix is like, Voyager, you're all still going to die
Whoa,
in
whoa, whoa, whoa,
space.
whoa, whoa, whoa! I have to cut you off here. So whatever ensign was at the end of that comm, just sirred Neelix. What?
He's chief morale officer.
He's not an officer. He's a hobbit.
The ensign is like vice morale officer.
God, how low ranking does that other person have to be to call Neelix sir?
Executive officer in charge of radishes.
Hey, that's a prestigious position.
To be fair, I don't think that even that person would have said Neelix.
Well, because
No.
Neelix is literally the executive officer in charge of radishes. He's the cook.
No, I think didn't he make Naomi Wildman or one of the three kids like executive officer in charge of radishes? No,
No, you're thinking
was,
of TNG.
Yeah, it was Picard to his junior, the three.
Though Naomi
small
Wildman
people
does get to be
together.
captain's assistant.
Right. Thank
Which
you.
does that mean she outranks Neelix?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Computer, execute Neelix. So says I. Naomi Wildman.
the first thing Naomi does as soon as the captain accepts the fact that she's the personal assistant is go to the captain and say, "I want Neelix removed."
Hang on, let me go to my YouTube channel real quick. Create a poll. Does captain's assistant Naomi Wildman outrank morale officer Neelix?
Right.
I don't
I'm
need those
grabbing-
capitalized.
Let me
And
grab
just
my
simple-
phone.
Yes or no? Post. Okay. So if you would like to make your voice heard, you can go to the community tab. That's where polls and stuff are. I don't post polls that often because I think people probably get enough of those.
Yeah, but it's still the thing you'll get the most.
She never actually gets to become the captain's assistant. She just sort of trains to become it.
Someone's already said no. I disagree.
Well, they're wrong. Strictly incorrect. And 3 other people said yes. Those people are correct.
There we go. Oh, it's increasing rapidly. Lots of people say yes.
I didn't see the poll, but it's okay.
This is the episode where Neelix single-handedly ruins like a whole Black Ops
Yes.
thing, right?
Well, he doesn't. He almost ruins it. Only almost ruins it. In fact, he kind of saves the day a little bit at the end. Just because he's pestering people. Where's the poll? The poll. You know what? I'll just post a link. It's on the YouTube channel community tab. We're losing Tom.
Thank you, Ryan.
And plus, when we get back to Earth, he's going to prison.
Oh no, not beautiful New Zealand. The horror. I feel like we should replace the word horror. It's too awkward to pronounce. Make it something else.
Only 75% of people think that the answer is yes, and I disagree.
Only 75% of people are correct.
It's 76 now.
Come back to it like tomorrow. There should be a much better
Like
sample size.
86, 96, yeah.
It's 21 people. It's a good enough sample size.
No, it's really not.
It's fine.
I hear you're leaving the Voyager.
Wait, where are they right now that there's sunlight coming through the window?
Oh, the
They're just
Voyager's
chilling out
just
next
taking
to
a
a supergiant.
it's just taking a shortcut through a neutron star. You know how it is.
Yeah, well, Paris isn't at the com, so, you know.
Dip's just veering wildly off course and is going to hit a star.
Yeah, because he forgot to click the autopilot button when he went off duty.
No one took over for Dom after he got relieved from duty. So
Are we supposed to
like
be going
the-
toward that thing? Yeah, it's probably fine. The ship knows what
yeah,
it's
there's
doing.
just like a 9-hour block of the day where the ship just swerves all over the place.
There's no one at con for like 8 hours a day.
The rest of the bridge is fully staffed, and they just like look at the view screen as they almost like crash into a sun.
As long as they're generally going in the right direction, nobody touches that rudder.
And Harry's like, Chakotay, do you think maybe we could just get him out of the brig just for a little bit, you know? Maybe we could demote him and just still let him drive. And he's like, that's it, Harry, you're not making lieutenant until we get back to Earth.
Also, I just noticed something that totally explains Neelix's relationship. He's literally a neckbeard. He doesn't have a regular beard, it's just on his neck.
That's hilarious.
There's a comment on your poll. Someone says that they think that gel packs outrank Neelix.
Well, they are alive, aren't they?
And they also are required for the ship to run, whereas Neelix is not. So
Neelix is just kind of here.
Nobody even asked him to stay. They just said we're gonna
He invited himself.
They were gonna drop him and Cass off, and they're like, "Captain, good news, we're gonna stay."
Yeah, and the captain was like, "Oh, fantastic."
Speaking of Neelix's neck mutton chops, are there other kinds of meat chops? Like, what are beef chop facial hair? What's venison chops? Oh, how do we keep our nostrils happy?
I really do want to know how to keep my nostrils happy, Doctor, especially because like right now in Minnesota it's really cold and your nose gets really runny. So this is extremely important information that they better not cut from this episode.
I would think that typically how you keep your nostrils happy is just leave them alone. But, you know, if the doctor's got some advice.
Yeah.
So the doctor wants to be like the medical advisor to Good Morning America. And it's like...
He's like, hey, everybody, it's me. Don't get vaccinated.
So the doctor's 240p webcam.
I think you mean 240i.
Yeah.
Yeah, 240i.
It's clearly interlaced.
Yeah, yeah.
What if
what is that food he has in front of him? Is that like slices of mango?
It looks like pistachios dipped in cheese.
Oh, that mug. I got an update on the Captain Janeway mugs from the Voyager documentary.
It's the Voyager documentary.
Shut up. They were supposed to ship in November, and the latest update is they could ship in late March or in April, which of course actually means June or July.
So you're gonna 3D print one between now and then, I assume?
No.
Okay.
Do not 3D print things to eat or drink off of. It's a bad idea.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna get a lot of plastic in your system.
True.
Yep.
There are certain 3D print materials you can use, and then you can seal it. But I don't have those. Yeah. I just have.
So Neelix is.
Well, I mean, you could probably seal any of them.
I don't have sealant.
Yeah.
I have some spray paint. I don't think that would do it.
No, I wouldn't recommend drinking out of a spray painted cup.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, don't do that.
Let's see. I think I have black and gold, and I think I have a brown. So probably black for the handle, gold for the cup itself.
Harry's so mad, Harry can't even think about it.
No, Harry's pretending that he's sad because now he's going to get a promotion to Tom Paris's rank.
Maybe. But, you know, that's your...
Seems unlikely.
That's your
lover right there. How come the literal prisoner outranks me?
He looks at Harry before he beams away.
Convicted of treason, and he outranks Harry Kim.
Why is the captain there?
Neelix is the most messed up. Can't believe it. Like, I think it's because like he hated Tom because he was jealous about Kes, and it turned out he doesn't hate Tom after all.
What if they gave Neelix like a coffee maker and they're like, just stand in front of this thing and you'll be able to talk to the whole ship?
I really wish that Voyager had been there and left the week that Quark did his come to Quark's is fun thing, and all the replicators on Voyager were replicating Quark's mugs.
And they don't have O'Brien.
That'd just be mocking the crew. Yeah, come to Quark's in the Alpha Quadrant. Come back to Deep Space Nine.
They don't have O'Brien.
But they had to be tormented by that for the next. But they had to be tormented by that for the next 7 years.
Don't walk, run.
Is this... Oh, this is going to be Karth's sabotage, isn't it?
Yeah.
The injector
So,
stream.
Seska's like a discount Sela?
I guess.
Hey, Mike, I was just thinking of you. Like, if I have to leave the little watch along, will you leave me a nice message the way Neelix left Tom Paris?
I don't try to emulate Neelix in anything, so probably not.
Do you like this episode?
I don't like most of Voyager.
Why?
Is it because it has a female captain?
No, that's not the reason.
Is it because it has Karth Onasi in it?
No, I actually like Karth Onasi and Caden Alenko and Professor Zay of Ba Sing Se University.
Okay. Jonas, you fool.
This episode has so many plots in it. There's the Tom Paris Black Ops / all hate him plot. There's the Neelix TV show plot. There's the sabotage plot. What's this episode actually about? I legitimately don't know.
The main thing is the Tom Paris plot. I think that's A.
The main thing is that we now have 100 votes on the poll, and 81% of people say yes.
Okay.
Also, there's the subplot within the subplot where the doctor wants his medical advice on Neelix's TV show.
Yeah.
It's a classic ensemble episode.
That includes Kim just being annoyed and angry at Tom leaving.
So one of the people on the poll who voted yes said that Naomi Wildman was almost as annoying as Neelix. And that's just strictly incorrect. Naomi Wildman is great.
Yeah, she was. Each ep 2. It was nice having like secondary characters.
Well, he really doesn't want to be a hero since he's the one who caused the problem.
No, you don't have to look into it too closely. It's probably just a one-off fluke. It's fine. Don't worry about the injector stream.
Someone said that no one outranks Neelix.
Very base.
I mean, Janeway did have to throw him out of her ready room a few times. So
someone said they should shove Neelix into hyperspace, which is an interesting crossover, which probably means that they want Neelix to go to a different universe entirely.
No, Star Wars is in the same universe, it's just in a different galaxy, far, far away.
A long time ago. Right. Okay.
Yeah. It was a long time ago, and this is in the future, so they don't meet.
Point is, they want Neelix to go far away.
Oh my god. The Galactic Empire is behind the DMA.
Yeah.
They're in a galaxy far, far away.
Imagine if they ended Star Trek Discovery with just, hey, look, we've started a new Star Wars spin-off.
That would be amazing if they linked up.
Ends up as like a background character.
Disney announces that they bought Star Trek at the end of Discovery.
Yeah.
I would love an actual Star Wars Star Trek crossover and not just like fan videos of putting Vader on the view screen.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Those videos are great.
There's some decent animations.
But I would like something with an actual budget.
Like normally when a woman tells you that she's pregnant, you're like endeared towards her somewhat. Like, okay, I have to kind of look out for her. You know, she has the future of the species in her womb. But this is like Seska is so repulsive that like you have no empathy.
Oh, why is she repulsive? Is it because she's a Cardassian?
It's because Rick Berman just hates pregnant women.
It's because she's a...
I mean, wait. We get I think, 3 pregnant women on the show. We get Seska, who's evil. We get Samantha Wildman, who is completely irrelevant after the pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And we get B'Elanna, who tries to mutilate her child. So, there's a bit of a track record there.
True.
Someone in the comments said that Naomi...
in an episode later.
Someone said that Naomi outranked Neelix before she was even born.
Naomi
is a
Federation
zygote.
citizen,
Outranked Neelix.
unlike Neelix. Jim Pollard say this, that she better outrank him or else he'd probably try and date her.
Jesus. Also, Seska, I mean, yeah, he left the ship, but that doesn't mean he's gonna, try to destroy it with you.
Think about
just
putting
wants to go
Commander
somewhere else.
Chakotay's face on a stick.
Does Kes get pregnant? She has.
Yeah, that's why she eats
She
dirt.
goes through the Ponfar.
That's already happened.
It has?
Was she actually pregnant though, or was she just
No.
wanting to get pregnant?
No.
It was just puberty.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
She
the
thought she
Kazon
was
actually
having her one shot.
somehow succeed in taking over their region of space, and then they just get mopped up by the Borg?
Here's a question though. So if the Ocampa only have that one chance to get pregnant, and they only have one child, how are they sustaining themselves as a species?
They aren't. They're dying out very rapidly.
Which is why the caretaker needs to take care of them.
The caretaker has a legion of storks.
Pregnant in the alternate timeline? I don't remember that. Is that the bit where she comes back in time and warns about the year of hell? Except it turns into the 2-parter of hell?
2 hours of hell.
Honestly, that's all I remember about that episode. Is I think Kes is in the resort. It's in the resort scene on the holodeck. She comes back in time, and something year of hell, and that's all I remember.
Do you think leaving Voyager was what pushed the actress who played Kes down the wrong path?
I don't know. It occurs to me, looking at how they're interacting with these panels, none of their monitor displays are at head height, either for sitting or standing. They're always in an awkward middle ground.
Utopia Planitia hates ergonomics.
It's almost like it's in the range that a camera would be pointing at.
Interesting. Oh, careful, Neelix, he's a killer. Or he wants to be. Doctor does good work, though. No burns.
No scars?
Why are you investigating? I was going to say, why isn't Tuvok investigating, but I know the episode's going to answer that itself.
How are you communicating with the Kazon? I mean, how would someone do...
What did they offer you, Karth? Glory, power, a weird off and on one-sided relationship with a woman who barely knows you exist?
Detective from Neelix is on. Man, I'm serious. I might just. It might just be like swamp gas getting to me, but I want to see a Star Trek Neelix. I think it would be impossible to make it edgy.
To make what edgy?
Star Trek Neelix.
Oh no, they could do the bit about how he was a deserter, and then they end the show with the Hiroshima bit. They could show everyone being vaporized.
Neelix gets like Darth Vadered. He's like walking
What
around.
What is your plan here, Card? If you shoot Neelix in the head, they're gonna notice.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it was a horrible accident where Neelix fell
He
on.
tripped and fell on a plasma torch.
Yeah, he tripped on this torch.
I mean, the crew would believe it. Let's be honest.
He was walking into engineering, and then he stepped on a rake, and he got.
It's not that they would believe it; it's that they wouldn't care enough to investigate
torch.
further.
If Neelix figured this out in like 2 minutes, what is Tuvok doing?
What if
they're going to explain in a bit that Tuvok is basically using. Oh, you know.
What if Carthonasi just like decided to kill Neelix with the Doctor watching? He was like, "We both hate him. Let's just sweep this under the rug."
He wouldn't even let you on his show. Mr. Vulcan.
Maybe it's Mr. Voyager.
No, ships are women. The question is it Miss or Mrs. Voyager?
Well, that depends.
Is the ship married to the captain? Is that how this works?
Is the ship married to the captain? The whole crew or the ship itself? The actual object?
The ship.
I don't think so.
As the captain of a ship, does she have the authority to authorize to like officiate a marriage between herself and the ship or her own?
Would that make Janeway a lesbian then?
I don't know.
Because all ships are female?
No, it's not. It's the Voyager.
Unless
TOS, Kirk
unless
has
it's
a bit
the Bismarck.
where everyone on the original Enterprise is being like poisoned with a love virus, and Kirk's the only one who's fine because he already has one true love, and it's the Enterprise.
And green women.
No, just the Enterprise.
Oh, okay.
Kirk has a lot of scenes, but they're not love. Love is just for the Enterprise. Or is it just Enterprise? How come Kirk and the Enterprise aren't on a first-name basis?
What's the first name of the Enterprise? The USS?
No.
Yeah.
The casual form is just Enterprise. He never calls it Enterprise. He calls it the Enterprise.
But there's the famous line, remember, let history never forget the name the Enterprise.
Yeah. Oh, that's why Captain Kirk calls it, or not Captain Kirk. That's why Captain Archer calls it Enterprise, because he's so personally attached to it, because it's his dad's engine. Except it was actually the cumulative work of like thousands of engineers, but it's his dad's engine. Also, it didn't work in the first place, and they had to fix it, but it's his dad's engine.
This time Neelix has backup, which means he can't get stabbed with the plasma torch.
What if he's like, Neelix is the
traitor? Well, he could be. The question is, does anyone in engineering care?
True.
I think Jonas could probably get away with it. How could someone do that?
Wait, is Neelix a detective now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see.
He sent the energy through waste energy in the propulsion systems? What?
Yep.
How do you send a message through the propulsion system? How does that work?
Through the ion trail.
Moon, Neelix is now a detective and a TV show host and everything except his actual job.
Yeah, he just cooks the root.
Though I was really expecting them to say, instead of propulsion, I wasn't expecting propulsion. I was expecting them to say he sent the message through the deflector dish. It's always the deflector. Maybe you should do this, Mr. Engineer. Qualified person.
Maybe you should turn this over to security.
Nah, just let the Hobbit take care of it. It'll be fine.
I really don't remember this episode at all.
What if Seska like joins the comm and she's like, Neelix, what the fuck are you doing here?
So it is just password. It's not voice printed. It only checks for the password.
That might depend on the level of access.
What's the point of having access codes if someone can just override it instantaneously with bullshit?
Well, it was just literally a
He was given.
It was a 4-character password.
Have we ever seen
You just said override?
Is this Neelix's cooking show?
Yeah.
Cooking and gossip and how to keep your nostrils happy.
I like that it comes back later. Like they actually remembered it in like season 5.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and the Voyager conspiracy, the Neelix YouTube channel is mentioned.
Oh, that's great.
Neelix, why did you go to
telling the captain before
Neelix, you don't take this to the media, you take this to the police. Tuvok. What are you doing, man? My God. Somebody's trying to frame Tom.
Eugene Paris would do no wrong.
Other than literal treason.
Yeah.
But he would never commit treason against this ship.
Damn, did he just ruin their plan?
Only a little. It'll work out. It always does. It's kind of mean that they didn't tell Chakotay about this.
Yes, but they have their reasons.
But are they good reasons? It just feels like they were trolling him mostly. It's like, oh, we just wanted a good reaction. We don't have faith in you as an actor. Yes, exactly, Chakotay. Glad we're on the same page. Not even an apology, Captain. Good job, Neelix, besmirching people's... I was going to say good name, but not actually, because he already left the ship for insubordination and stuff.
Can't believe this is a Neelix episode.
Hey, Detective Neelix is on the case. He's going to discover who done it and how to make your nostrils happy.
And
what do you guys? What's your guys' nostril routine?
Well, I
don't have
always
one.
try and spend some quality time with my nostrils at least once a week.
You know, if you need to blow your nose, make sure you don't use too rough of a material. Especially in dry winter months, you don't want to damage the fragile skin. Why does this transmission sound like an Imperial probe droid? Because it's the Star Wars crossover. My God. We found
I
it.
swear
Why
the
did
actor
they-
who plays Hogan is very familiar.
You mean that guy who's just on the monitor?
Hmm.
I don't know. Do you mean his face or his voice? Or both?
His face.
He plays
Not made
Jiminy
Star Trek,
Cricket in
though.
Once Upon a Time.
Really?
Why did they?
Never seen
Why
that
did,
movie.
This is his only Star Trek role.
why did they put the computer terminal with like internet access in their prison?
Everybody deserves Wi-Fi. Even prisoners.
It's
Human
like,
right.
we'll make
According
him
to the
watch
case law.
Neelix's morning show. Yes, then he'll break.
Does that work?
What
The
is the
Kazon
point
chip's,
of
like,
the
quite
Kazon?
large. To be unworthy of the Borg.
I think that was a joke.
Did Tom just bite the gun?
I don't think so. I think he just grimaced.
Okay. There we go. Thank you. You shot him, finally. God, the Kazon
Is the
shuttlecraft are just
shuttlecraft-
tiny versions of the same model.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, look at this guy. He's so familiar.
He's Cartho Nassi from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Caden
Right, you were
Alenko from Mass
saying.
Effect.
And also Alistar, right? From Dragon Age.
Yes.
Wow.
But you don't see his face there, so.
No, he looks
Doesn't
very
look anything
different.
like Karth.
Oh man, I just
Not even
thanks
close.
for giving me flashbacks to Alistair from Dragon Age.
You don't like Alistar Dragon Age?
No, I just remember the decision you have to make with him at like at the end of the game where you have to decide who's going to like be the daddy of the Dark One or something.
What?
Yeah, that's a plot point.
Yeah.
It's even better if you play
Okay.
as a woman.
Yeah, it's even better if I were to reveal the full context.
Do you
And by
do
better, I
you
mean
get
it's
together with Alistair
crazier.
to be the parents to the Dark One?
No,
No.
the Dark One basically the Dark One's gonna be born and you have to decide who's gonna be the daddy. I can't remember some of the specifics.
That's pretty much what happens.
I assume it makes sense in context, because as of this conversation, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You should play Dragon Age.
Dragon Age is one of the maybe the most underrated BioWare IP.
Honestly, I never finished it.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
I would have finished the trilogy if the EA really didn't drop the ball on the 360 port of Inquisition.
I also
Does
never
it have
finished
controller
Inquisition.
support?
Hmm?
Mhm.
It does?
Yeah, it plays just fine on a controller.
Oh.
At least Inquisition does. I played Inquisition on Xbox, and it was fine.
But you have to start at Origins, of course.
But I never finished either
Wait,
Inquisition
I
or
assumed
Origins.
Is Origins the first game or is it a prequel?
It's
not
the
a
first game.
prequel.
It's the first game. It's called
You
Origins.
can't,
It has like
you
an
can't title
origin
the first
system.
game in a series Origins. That's like
It's,
No, that was
it's
that
the
was the selling
origin of
point.
the series.
The best the best feature about the game is there's a different intro story
I think
for
I did
each
that actually. I
character
think I
type.
had that on like Xbox 360.
Yeah, I played it on Xbox 360.
All
And so there's different origins.
there was the
aka
dwarf and an elf
world.
and a college or something.
Yeah, you had just slightly different like first quests, and then
It
occasionally
wasn't even
kind of
slightly
pop up-
different. It was completely different.
Oh yeah, sorry, completely.
Like I've never
different
seen
first
anything like
quests.
that in a game.
But there's only like 3 of them, so it's just like a slightly worse version
Someone
of
punched
Mass Effect 2
slapped
in
Neelix.
Fantasyland. And that may sound bad, but Mass Effect 2 was like one of the best video game sequels ever.
I really don't like Mass Effect 2.
Oh, what's wrong with Mass Effect 2?
The story. It's awful.
It's a good story. You got Martin Sheen.
I like Mass Effect 1 much better.
I like Mass Effect 2 more when I replayed the trilogy.
Okay. So are we losing this firefight with the Kazon ship?
No, you better not.
Have we fired back yet?
Maybe instead of stealing like a smaller Kazon ship, they actually like Tom Paris stole like an entire like full scale Kazon ship, and it was just positioned just behind the other one, so it looked like it was a shuttlecraft.
Okay, so now we can't shoot back. Well, we still have torpedoes, right? We lost the phasers, but we have torpedoes. Just shoot him. Jesus. Hit that man with a wrench.
He didn't even hit him
There's a
very hard.
space wrench. What
He
the
hit
hell
him
is
in
that
his-
thing?
He just
You just said it's a space
wrench
wrench.
with a space wrench.
So he could reach over with a wrench, but why couldn't he just reach over and snap a comm badge on his ankle?
That would be more correctly referred to as a spanner.
Space wrench.
Spanner.
Space wrench.
Why are these
What the hell is it?
these
How does it
people-
work? It doesn't
works
seem
very
to have
well,
any
thanks for
moving
asking.
parts.
Spanners don't usually have moving parts.
Do they not?
Oh,
It's a well.
Like,
It's
can't you
usually
adjust the grip?
Neelix just
don't-
fucking vaporized a fool.
bye,
wow.
bye,
Murderer
card.
Neelix.
Neelix was like a former soldier. He doesn't give a fuck about killing people.
He's
Karth,
hold
do-
on, hold on. He's
Do you
a
want to talk about
deserter.
it later? He's dead now.
He's also a warp theorist, as we learned in Threshold.
I just noticed that Neelix, at the back of his jacket, he has a smiley face.
I just murdered somebody. Too bad they don't have a counselor. Where's his comm badge?
It got beamed out.
Jonas took it,
It's
and then they
stolen.
beamed it out.
He's cool about it. Damn, look at this aspect ratio.
And you can read all
4
about
by
it.
3.
My new coffee table book will always have Tom Paris.
So this camera movement, does this imply Neelix has a cameraman, or is that an automatic move?
Probably automatic. I imagine Star Trek cameras can do like generic cinematography on their own. That
Well,
doesn't seem unrealistic.
They can't do
At
progressive
240i.
video. I don't know if they can do anything. Look at this. It's low resolution interlaced. Is this why Starfleet doesn't have security cameras? They just never invested in camera technology. Since like the 1980s. But then sensors are just cameras for different wavelengths.
Damn, he just vaporized a dude. He's cool with it.
Yeah. I have to applaud Neelix for not just rubbing it in Mr. Vulcan's face that he just single-handedly solved this whole conspiracy, and his job was just to like clean out the oven.
gentlemen and lady, one lady. I can't say ladies and gentlemen. We just have the one. But I believe this is our first Star Trek stream, even though there's a couple muted folks. That is actually full. 10 out of 10 people.
Whoa.
Don't we have 10 out of 10
Our first Voyager.
worlds?
Let me rephrase. Our first Voyager stream, that's 10 out of 10 people.
Didn't we fill up on Threshold?
I think we filled up on
We filled up
I
on
thought we only had
Threshold,
like
too.
8 on Thresholds.
No, we filled
I'm
up
sure
on
we reached
for a
the
very
threshold.
short amount of time. Yeah,
Like,
we reached the
threshold. We definitely reached it.
Nothing drives turnout more than the Neelix Detective episode. Who knew?
I mean, it's
The next
I'm
three
sure-
are
I
really
assume
great
most people are
episodes.
here for Death Wish.
Anyway,
I'm so sad I missed Death Wish.
We live
I had
long and
quite a
prosper,
hellish
everyone.
morning.
You can go, if you go back and rewatch the VOD, you can just yell at the screen and have basically the same experience.
What happened for Death Wish? People are screaming or something?
People, well, just how these streams work in general. People just talk over each other all the time because there's 10 people in here trying to talk about one episode of a show.
Mm-hmm.
As
That's
you
just
do.
how this works.
Yeah. We've all seen it like 20 times, right?
Well,
And I
don't know
mean,
about
by
that.
20, I mean like 3.
Okay, yes. Anyway, next week is Enterprise Dawn. That's if you remember the TNG episode, The Enemy, where Geordi befriends a Romulan. It's basically that episode, but Enterprise.
Oh, God. Is that the
Tucker
one with
and
Trip
some-
Tucker and the
yeah.
Gorn?
It's not
But
a
it's also
Gorn, but
Darmok?
yes. Yes.
It's a Gorn. It's a lizard
that episode.
boy. It's not
And-
actually a Gorn, but it's a
And
Gorn.
then there's Stigma, which is the HIV metaphor episode
Mhm.
with T'Pol.
Sounds fun.
And then there's Ceasefire with Jeffrey Combs.
Hey. That's
That one's
pretty
really
cool.
good.
Yeah. I love comms.
And then next week, in my opinion, 2 of the most horrifying episodes of Voyager. Deadlock, where where the whole crew dies. There's a duplicate of the ship. One ship gets invaded by the Kazon, and we see
that
people
one
like being
cool?
harvested.
Two
It's cool,
Janeways.
but it's horrifying.
Like, Janeway gets to, like, one-liner herself.
Welcome to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
They like cut
Chakotay.
Naomi out of Samantha as she dying, and it's just
Yeah.
It has implications,
is
but
one
I
of
think
my
it's a good
favorite.
episode.
it's really good, but it's horrifying. Then there's Innocence, which is the one with the backwards aging children. Tuvok has to like make them happy
Sing
with their
to them.
death or something.
Oh,
There's
that
a
one's
cave.
cute. I like that one.
And then there's the other most horrifying episode of Voyager, The Thaw, with the evil clown in the mind prison.
Honk honk.
Fear itself.
Also a pretty good episode. I hope I don't miss them.
The Thaw, I think it's very, very well made, but I never want
It's
to
very
watch
silly.
it again.
Are you afraid of clowns, Ryan?
No, but the bit at the end where he's slowly fading into darkness and Janeway's like, and he's saying, "I'm afraid to die." It's like, I know. That bit,
Yeah,
that
Janeway
bit
is
triggers me.
cold.
Yeah.
Love it.
It triggered me too.
That's
my
some
favorites.
existential dread right there.
It's also some existential dead right there.
Mm.
So yeah, it's not really the clown so much as the fading into the void. But yeah, that's
I
next
like the
week.
I'm looking forward to the clown. He seems like a pretty silly dude.
Yeah, clowns are for fun. Okay,
He's
I'm
gonna
ending the
join-
stream
he-
now. We're done here. Go
he's
away.
Thanks,
gonna-
Ryan.
Not
He's
very
gonna
well.
pop up and he's gonna be like, "I'm the Joker, baby," and everyone's gonna applaud. Just like, yay, it's the